The Social Security number means that you have, if your rotation is going to be 8 weeks, and you're going to have to be in the country probably something like 10 weeks, because it's going to take, you have to come in, start work, apply for your Social Security number, get your background check. And by the way, those two things are required of all of our students. It doesn't matter where you come from, American citizen or not. You have to do those two steps, but it takes time. And so we found that to complicate things when we were bringing students from Lebanese American University who would actually do their clerkship with us. The Hungarian, this is a very important distinction, the Hungarian students don't have the same exact requirements as those from Lebanese American. Lebanese American University is accredited by the same agency that accredits Tolledo University. And because of that, and because they want academic credit for the time with us, they have to be with a social number, Social Security number, and they have to have the background check. There are other things, but those are the two that cause us some time and resources in order to make it work for them. And I'm anxious to see that happen with Lebanese American University students. I'm anxious to see it happen here, depending on what kind of experience you want with Toledo. My talk tomorrow morning will give you, in terms of research, it will give you a bit of an overview of the College of Pharmacy in terms of the active laboratories and the work that they're doing. I don't talk about every laboratory. I only talk about a few, but I mentioned almost all of them. The printout of my PowerPoint presentation has not only the name of the people, but in many cases it has a little bit of that data, so that if you're interested in research, you will see what they're doing. For those who have an interest in pharmacy practice, there are two areas in my presentation that you may find of interest. One is antimicrobial stewardship that's been done by Dr. Diane Capoletti. And she's based in the hospital. She's one of our faculty members, but she's in the hospital. And the reason for this is that, as you know, there are not a lot of new antibiotics out there. And so we have to manage patients who are getting antibiotics very well to be sure they don't build resistance and get sick again. And that's part of her job. Another thing in my presentation that would be of interest in terms of pharmacy practice is a laboratory called the Pharmaceutical Care Outcomes Research Laboratory. Now, this could be a laboratory in which you could get an experience as well. There are 30 different research projects going on in that facility right now. There are 7 research assistants, which means those are graduate students. Captain, the professors do the work. There are 4 professors attached to this facility. And they look at the things that are happening in pharmacy practice and how to quantitate that. And you might find that of interest. Yes?
My name is Pharmacy Department, final year. First, let me thank you for coming here, which is highly appreciated for us. I have so many questions, basically. The first question, do I have to finish a triple degree before planning to complete my study there at Tolledo University? If yes, can I have some courses related to a triple degree or IELTS certificate and study at the same time to gain some time for us? The second,
let me tackle the first one.
Yeah,
okay. And I'm going to repeat the question to be sure I have it right.
Do I have to finish a total degree before planning to complete my study in Tolledo University? If yes, can I have some courses related to IELTS degree or total certificate and study at the same time to gain some time?
Okay, now if I understand the question, what you're asking actually has 2 parts to it. One is similar to your question. If you're coming as part of your educational training, then you don't have to have a degree, but you'll have to look at your curriculum or course of study and our course of study and be sure you're getting from us what you need to complete a degree. Okay? And part answer to your question is that no, it doesn't require that you have a degree. you can actually take some courses with us. Now, I should tell you that most of our courses are taught from August through May. There are a few courses in the summer, but not many, a few. And they're posted on the internet at our website, and you can see exactly what we're teaching. And for us, if one of our students wanted to come to Azatuna University to take courses, they would have to get those courses approved by the faculty before they take them. And that approval is meant to ensure that it meets your requirements. And so it has to work both ways in that regard. And then you have to be careful about when the course is offered. And our courses are typically 3 or 4 hour courses, meaning if it's a 3-hour course, it meets 3 times a week, 1 hour. I'm pretty sure your system is pretty much the same way. Is that it?
Yeah, the second question. When am I going to, I finish here? I'm undergraduate. Inshallah, I hope I will graduate this semester. As a student, when I finish my degree here, will my grade be taken into consideration if I want to plan to study there in Tolid University? My grade, good, very good, excellent, satisfactory.
Right, and that actually attacks on to the first question, because what will happen is that one of our people will look at your courses and be sure that they are accepted. For us, the same as if in reverse. If one of my students were coming here, your faculty would have to look at it to see if it meets the requirements. And those are case-by-case situations, because to my knowledge, I don't think we've ever gotten a student from Azatuna. And so if you're finishing your degree and you want to come for a graduate degree, postgraduate, it's the same process. You have to be evaluated. Your transcript has to be evaluated in terms of what you need. And I have to tell you that for our graduate programs, our students come from all over the world. And those students haven't had to come and take, if they've taken additional courses, it hasn't been very many, for a graduate degree, a postgraduate degree. Well, I doubt it's that much, because most pharmacy curricula around the world are very similar in terms of content. Very similar, not exact, but very similar. And most of the time, the faculty find that that is enough, when you come into graduate school. But now, as you well know, that it happened to me when I went to graduate school. They would say, well, you had this course, but this course didn't go deep enough in what we want you to know. And so in that case, you would have to take a course or 2. But it's not so much repeating courses. It's grabbing the content information that the program wants you to have.
Finally, it's my honor to have a picture with you after this conference is done.
To have what? Oh, very good.
Okay.
So I think in this question, he meant what are the determinants or the requirements for a student given the priority to be accepted at the postgraduate program? Is it the specialty he chooses, or it's the part he has, or what are the determinants in that? Have a better chance to be accepted as postgraduate student?
Well, that's not a very easy question to answer. The preference really is given based on the strength of your transcript in terms of grades, and also that would be the requirement for any international student of the test for English as second language. That would be also the requirement perhaps for a graduate record exam score. And all of that's used to make an admissions decision, on a student. For Toledo University or any university, the sooner you start the process of applying, the better. Because of a couple things. And why you didn't ask me this is part of the consideration when you go to graduate school. In the pharmaceutical sciences, most of the time, you will get a stipend and your tuition will be paid. Now, this is kind of a scholarship, question as well. But not scholarship perhaps in the way you were asking me, young lady, because this is for a postgraduate study. And in this case, what happens is that when you apply, if you are offered admission and you accept that, then they tell you what support they can provide. The program will tell you what support that it can provide. The university did have a 7% reduction in the money that it had for graduate students last year, but we still brought in some new students. Not many as usual, but we brought in some new students. And so that's how we assist students who come for a postgraduate degree. Yes, but I'm going to send around a couple of sheets, and one would be if you were looking for an experience in a pharmacy, and the other would be for like a young man who is thinking about postgraduate study. Okay? And what you would give me is your name and your email address.
نكمل في بوست جراديويتس بيدرس ماستر دكتوراه. الثاني يقول الفارماسي اكسبيرينس التريننج. اوكي؟ على ورقه بيضاء بعد بيسموا
There were two questions over here in the back first. Can you stand up? I can't hear you well, please.
Sorry. The question. You are interested in clinical pharmacy program. As a postgraduate,
which has high chance in the Tolida University.
What's the accepted for clinical pharmacy program?
That's the Doctor of Pharmacy degree program. Right. And
postgraduate student for PhD degree.
Oh, for PhD.
Master.
We only have a master's and PhD degree in medicinal chemistry. Medicinal chemistry. We have a master's degree in industrial pharmacy, pharmacy and healthcare administration, and pharmacology. Are one of those your interests? I'm disappointed. Yes, sir.
I'm planning to do like American project sign for pharmacy in February. And one of the requirement is like 1,500 hours of practicing. So my question is like, if I do the training, you consider of 1,500 hours credit or no? Get me?
قصدك انه قريب يعني كويس لك بتفيدك؟
لا انا بعمل المطلوب مني ان انا الريكويرمنت بتاعتها 1500 ساعه تريننج، اوكي؟ فانا قصدي لو عملت هذا التريننج عندهم راح يحسبوا لي اياه بالكريدت بتاعتي ولا لا؟
No, the students here has to complete 1,400 hours training as a pharmacy student. Now he's asking if he is doing the same at your university. Should that be added as a credit for him, or is it a requirement that he has to do some training, or to be considered as a plus or something like this?
If you wanted to have an experience at Toledo and you want to use that 1,500 toward that, yes, that will be the help to you.
It doesn't matter like if it's like a different state because I'm doing that in Connecticut. So
Connecticut?
Yeah. So it will be like it's okay if I do it in Ohio, like the training.
Yeah, because we would be very similar, not exactly the same as Connecticut. Your experiences that you would get with us would be very similar. We are both accredited, and all of the schools in America are accredited by the same agency, and so we have to meet the same requirements for those experiential learning experiences.
Thank you.
Okay.